Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to, this video. I've been doing live, I never done a live until Saturday when the volcano erupted. And I got into it, so I've been doing live since, and, I have an audience. But within the past week or so, or even before that, I've been finding out that I can't go on live. I cannot do a live. And it's really been tough, and it's been bothering me. I can't get my message out. So I'm just gonna show you my desk and my workstation. I'm a photographer, I'm a researcher. I always believe in having information. This is the master development plan for cannabis industry in St. Vincent. Okay, this is my notebook. And this is what really want me to do, that make me want to do the live, okay? In this book, I write like dates and whatever, password, information. So, when you come by me, whenever the police comes, okay? They don't look for the electronic documents and so on. Drivers, look for paper. Old school. Drivers, look for paper and documents, And my shit is such a mess, I wish them luck. I don't want to be smoking, because don't want to be promoting smoking. But my revolutionary. Drivers, this what? I'm doing this video here because there's some propaganda machinery out there, and some spin doctors, the newspapers and everybody culpable, NDP too. So I want to warn you, Vincent Chan, because I said it already and I will say it again. NDP has, if NDP gets there, they would have the same power to do what Ralph do. I don't think anybody could do worse than Ralph, but NDP would have the same power. They would take the island, they could take the island and they could squander it. I'm not saying they're going to do it, but they can't do it. So we cannot allow any government again to have the whole country whole hog. NDP is playing games too. You understand? Because they want to jump on this struggle and they don't want to give anybody credit for the struggle. Because if it was up to NDP, this struggle wouldn't have been on. In 2001, 98, 2001, is the unions, is the ODD, Organization for Defense of Democracy, and a whole heap of entities that came together and brought down ULP, that brought down NDP, and they hand the power wholesale to Ralph Gonsalves. You see the results? In 1984, when he had the representation of the peoples at the dreaded bills under Milton Cato, it was the NCDD, the National Committee in Defense of Democracy, that came together and they pulled down Ralph Gonsalves, James Mitchell, all of them was marching on the same line. Calder Williams, I think he was apparently was opposition leader at the time. Everybody came together, unions, all sectors of the community came together and they got rid of the bills. And they got into office and the power was handed over to NDP like that. People, we have to be careful. It's the people's power. This ain't no politician power. This is revolutionary struggle. You understand? And it's time we get rid of these old political midgets from NDP and ULP. Time for them to go. This is a generational reset. This is the young people them who voted in 2010, 2001. Right now, the 38 to 45. Some of them got children, grandchildren. They're still competing with the children for jobs. That is what's happening. That is what's bringing out people on the street. Ain't no damn COVID vaccine. All the issues been piling up. People see the John issue. The $95 million. So when they want to sell this thing, the media houses and the mainstream media, Ronald Sanders, all of you, Gaspard Brown, whatever, Want to sell this like people resisting vaccine. This is not about no damn vaccine. This is a reset. This is a generational reset. And let me tell you something. I got my notes there. I'll go into it too. Because this ain't no time for no fucking political correctness. You understand? Me a revolutionary, straight up. Yeah. I'm going to give you some history now. I'm going to find a page in my book. I saw all them newspaper talking about vaccine and NDP. It's not NDP struggle. And this is not a old ploy. This is not a new ploy. This is a old ploy. And it has been happening from since. And they're talking about violence. St. Vincent is a violent place. Always been a violent place. This is the home of the Garifuna. St. Vincent has a bloody history. A bloody history for freedom. A bloody history for self-determination. You understand? You know, they would let the Garifunas appear like they were helpless. But we kick some ass. St. Vincent kicked some ass during colonialism time. Notley would kick some ass during the time. And we're going to kick some ass in 2021. Taking people's struggle and giving a lazy ass political party who don't give a damn, only stuck in default mood. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. Yes. What I want to talk about, you know, is the Carib War, the so-called Carib War. They take the Garifuna resistance, the Garifuna struggle, the Garifuna revolution, and they call it the Carib War for trivialize it. Caribbean fight no damn war. Black people, Garifuna. The black men who run away from Barbados, because you got to remember in the 1600 Barbados had 80,000 black people and 20,000 whites. So the blacks used to run away by the hundreds from Barbados. So the first white people to come to St. Vincent were the French missionaries. They came in 1612. They reached as far as Barely. In 1654, this is a very pivotal and violent part of the Vincentian history. There's something called the Jesuit massacre that happened in Barely. Because Barely was the capital of St. Vincent, and Barely was always a free port, in and out. Well, a young Garifuna man used to steal on a youth used to sail on a friendship, and they accused him of stealing in Trinidad. And they tried to court-martial him, you know, punish him. They tied him and they tried to punish him, but he escaped. And he got back to Barely. And when he got to Barely, he told his friends what happened. During that time, 1654, the chief of Barely was, the Garifuna chief was Bubba. And Bubba was a very popular chief. He wasn't the top chief, but he was popular. So this French soldier came in and he drank his rum and he drunk and he pulled out his gun. You know, white privilege as usual, y'all. Contempt for black people. Racist racist motherfuckers, y'all. Pull out his gun and he blasts at Bubba. But the gun misfired, y'all. And them youths see. Them same youths. Same age. You know? They say what? But he disrespect Bubba. And look, Bridget nearly get killed in Trinidad, come home. So they went around Barely. And they killed the two Jesuit priests and their helpers. And they threw the bodies into the sea. But the tide washed them up and they say, wow, them are demons. So they take the bodies and the bones and they made musical instruments and flutes, and they went around the whole of Barely playing music and dancing and things. getting rid of the demons, exercising these demons, whatever. When the French heard about it, they sent 3 Coast Guards, call it Manoir at the time, and they pounded the leeward coast, killing anything in sight for 2 weeks. A superpower invaded the leeward coast of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Yeah. You get me what I'm saying? During the Garifuna war and the war for freedom and the war for the island, for St. Vincent, one time the Garifuna were, because the Caribbean was linked, because that's why this struggle is linked in the Caribbean. You go hear what happening in the other Caribbean islands. St. Vincent now is the linchpin. You know? They hijacked a ship in Dominica, a British ship, a British boat, and set sail for St. Vincent. Calaqua, Indian Bivilla area, that was the British settlement. So you know the ship would take a while before you come in because it's sail power. So all these plantation, the merchants, all these plantations and merchants and the white folks on the island, they're glad for deliverance because the island getting hot. You understand? Chateau don't take over in north of the island. Yeah, Evans. They don't send Duvalet at the east. They don't take over the west of the island. They don't send Duvalet on the east. You know, to organize on that side, because on the western side and the eastern side had slavery. You know? Had the plantation, they brought in, but Chateau, there was like, you're not coming here and you're not enslaving anybody. So the boat coming in, flying British flag, wow, the matrons feel good, they go to bake the cake, the ginger beer and everything coming up, big celebration, they break open the rum and everything like that, and the dancing on the beach, music, waiting for deliverance. Ha ha ha. So when they got there now and they come off the boat, the Garifuna warriors jump off and murdered massacre all of them. Women, men, children. Bloody history, y'all. So when they're talking about Protestant violence, this motherfucker gonna turn up. He gonna get violent. People are gonna dead. People are half dead. That's so a revolutionary struggle. So when you want to sugarcoat it and give it more NDP fight, and all the newspapers guilty. Especially my favorite, Searchlight. You understand? So Jude nights coming and telling me, but I'm ungrateful because I speak truth. But listen, Jude, I always got something to bring to the table. You know that. So if you think I'm ungrateful, y'all ungrateful too. You know? It was a mutually destructive relationship. Because I was tired of all your innuendos. You personally. And all the dog whistle politics. But time longer than twine. Sometimes you almost say, but he not gonna shame. He don't, come on. You know? Many attempts you made, this newspaper made this not made. Well, they made an attempt to embarrass me. When I was arrested for receiving stolen items, they published me and I walking with them. Why ain't show no bad face? Because I don't watch face have to watch eye. So what I'm saying is that they're going to trivialize this struggle and give it to the NDP. You understand, this is the people's struggle because NDP cannot handle the mess that Ralph Gonsalves is going to leave. So you want coalition. And since last December I was going to contest in the election, if I had a wake up nomination deal with the money, I would have contest the election. So let me tell you something, NDP. Chill, take a pill. You understand? You all work for this. It's like people struggle. And this is a revolutionary. Yo, my brethren, Colin John, you are the people's commissioner. You can't stop nothing. Serve the people. You're not too late for your turn back, brother. You understand? Yeah. This ain't no easy fight. This is revolutionary struggle. No victory. Just because you don't have no struggle. You see why Friday not get it? Friday not have no struggle. That's why you not have no victory. Drivers. I pick it NDP as a young teacher in the 80s, 86, 87. Right at Parliament there. So what you're telling me? Like it's something new or it's something strange? Talk about violence. Who tell the big belly man walk through the crowd? Well, let me tell you something. You know, he got some non-lethal projectiles. You know, so all who walk through crowd and do this and disrespect common sense and all logic. You get non-lethal projectiles. Shit. Eggs. Whatever. Because I don't want no blood spread. I don't want this country to be blood. I don't want blood shed. But even the Bible says there is no remission of sin and whatever the shedding of blood. Y'all figure it out, y'all. I ain't fucking got no time to be politically correct. But what I'm saying is that people gotta get some justice. Otherwise, the motherfucker gonna burn. Ain't nobody gonna stop it. Well, I predict y'all. Fuck that shit.